Without Warning is a pretty strange one. You have two Oscar-winning actors and Kevin Peter Hall in the creature suit, but only a budget of $150,000. Oh, and Rick Baker made that suit, which cost him almost 20 grand. It's pretty obvious where they spent their money, but I don't know if I should expect greatness or a low-budget flop. It opens up with a father-son duo out in the wilderness hunting. Pretty typical stuff here. The son doesn't want to wake up, the hardened father making him use a gun, which he's clearly against. Now, I would understand being a little disappointed that your son doesn't turn out to be exactly like you, but would you shoot him? My goodness! I don't know why else he would point a gun at his own flesh and blood. Well, luckily he doesn't fire. Instead, this hairy flying frisbee comes in and attaches itself to this guy. What? Honestly, it looks pretty cool. Cheap, sure. I mean, most shots of these things you can see the string, but still, you get the idea. These discs end up killing the father, and because the son doesn't know how to shoot, they get him too. Now we meet our main characters of the movie, Beth, Tom, Sandy, and Greg.
Hello.
All out on a double date, heading towards the lake for a picnic, and whatever else kids do at a lake, if you catch my drift. The first place they stop is a gas station. Of course, you gotta stop at an old creepy gas station. The girls gotta go pee, but they find the women's room locked. So they head into the men's room and freak out because there's a guy in there. What did you expect? This is Fred Dobbs, but everyone calls him Sarge because of his military background. They get their gas, then go in and pay, meeting Joe Taylor, the owner, who warns them not to go to the lake. It's dangerous around there. So what do? Go to the lake. Of course they don't listen. But would you? A creepy old guy tells you not to go, but your hot blonde girlfriend says she'll give it up if you do? I think I'd be at the lake. While they do what kids do, we see a pack of Cub Scouts out on a hike. Now, you might think that they're all gonna get alien frisbeed to death, or maybe sucked up in a tractor beam and tossed to the ground. But no, this movie doesn't have the balls for that. But at least the pack leader's killed. The kids do see something, but they just take off running. Back to our friends at the lake, and the two couples have split up, with Sandy and Greg going for a walk. When they get back, Tom and Beth are missing. And after a couple of hours, they're still not back, and Sandy's getting worried. So they have a look around for him, eventually finding an old shed. And inside, well, they find their friends, along with all the others who have died so far. They take off running, Sandy crying the whole time. They finally make it back to the car, but where's the keys? While they look, they get frisbeed. And something's definitely trying to get inside. But luckily our heroes find the keys, and after a bit of engine problems, it does eventually start, and they peel out of there, back into town, straight to a local bar, which is probably a better idea than a police station. Inside, Greg tells his tale while Sandy waits in the car. But she's not alone, seeing the creature walk by. Scared, she runs off into the woods. Why she wouldn't run into the bar, or heck, just stay put is beyond me. The woods would be the last place I would go, because you're gonna get caught. Thankfully, it's not the alien, but Joe. Inside, no one believes Greg's story. No one except for Sarge, who claims to have his own encounter with the Frisbees.
You seen them little critters?
Unfortunately, he takes it a little too far, and most of the town just thinks he's crazy. After a bit, Joe storms in with Sandy, who says she saw the creature, and they bring up the shack they found with all the bodies. Just then, the power cuts out and everyone's on pins and needles, especially Sarge, who shoots at the first sign of movement, which just so happens to be the town's sheriff. Oops! He should have shot the deputy, too. Sarge goes crazy, saying something must have possessed him, and then blaming Greg, saying everything started when he showed up. Looks like he's just about to kill him, too, but then Joe puts a stop to it. Outside, Joe asks to be shown to where the shack is located, wanting to see it for himself. Reluctantly, they take him, and on their way, Joe shows them a scar he has, meaning this isn't his first rodeo, and he's been attacked by the Frisbees before, and he's about to be attacked again. It latches on, and Joe, thinking he's dead meat, orders Greg and Sandy to make their escape, and they listen to him. But Joe's a tough old guy, and he carves the creature off of his leg. Greg and Sandy make it to the road and flag down a cop, which is a good thing, until they find out the cop is actually the Sarge, who now thinks the kids are really aliens wearing human skin suits. At gunpoint, Greg gives in to Sarge's false ideas, saying that he's right. They are aliens, and they've come to conquer Earth. When the timing's right, he tackles Sarge and they take off, hiding out. Eventually, they do make it back to the road, where Sarge is waiting for him, and he runs them off, forcing the couple to jump into the icy water below. But hey, at least they're alive. They end up finding an old cabin, break in, and get some warm clothes to wear. But what now? There's a frisbee-throwing alien out there hunting them down. So Greg promises to stay up all night, guarding the door. How's that working out for you, buddy? Well, Greg's dead. At least we finally get our first look at the alien, even if only for a second. Well, what's Sandy gonna do now? She escapes to the basement, hiding out, but the alien's there and he means business, breaking down the door. Sandy's lost all hope, and that's when Joe comes in to save the day, shooting at the monster, giving him time to escape and prepare for the final showdown back at the shed. Joe explains that this creature came to Earth to hunt for the sport of it. So basically, we have a predator situation here, which is funny because Kevin Peter Hall also played the Predator. Joe knows that it's keeping bodies in the shed like trophies, and he'll eventually return for them, which is exactly what he wants, because Joe has the shed rigged to blow. A good plan, and it would have worked too if it wasn't for Sarge, who comes by to mess everything up. He still thinks that everyone is aliens in human suits. Joe and him get into a fight, and Sandy's just about to land the final blow when she spots the alien in the distance. Sarge sees it too, and he heads towards the creature, thinking it's their leader. As he gets closer, the alien tosses a frisbee at him. Well, Sarge is dead. All that's left is to lure it in close to the dynamite and blast it back to where it came from. But what can they do? It's not moving. So Joe takes this opportunity to open fire at it, which does hit the creature, but it doesn't really seem to do anything whatsoever. It tosses a frisbee at Joe, landing a hit on his back where he can't reach to peel it off. Instead of asking Sandy to do it, Joe sees no way out, and he decides to be the bait, luring the creature into the shed, screaming alien as he runs. Alien! Alien! Oscar-winning actor here, folks. His plan works, and after Sandy fiddles with the plunger for a bit, she finally manages to destroy the alien. And that was Without Warning. So, is it greatness or a flop? Well, I love me some cheesy movies, but I can't call this greatness, not even close. There isn't a single original idea here. Aliens coming to Earth for the sport of hunting, the trope of stopping at a gas station and a bar and the engine in the car not starting. It's all here. You could fill up a creature feature bingo card with just this one movie. The Frisbees are a bit different, so I gotta give them that though. The theme of hunting is prevalent throughout. Mainly the old rugged guys know how to use a gun, while the young hippie kids don't, and they die because of it. All that being said, Without Warning is pretty fun. The acting isn't that bad, and the music fits the era. And a cool looking creature suit is the icing on the cake. I just wish we would have seen it a bit more. I give it 2.5 Frisbees out of 4.